Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So I got a just came in a day or two ago and picked up a nice little Golden Age comic collection. So Brad, thank you. He contacted me through the Majestic Collectibles Facebook page. We met up at the Brass Armadillo, and he had some really nice stuff. So always appreciate it when folks do that. Contact me and bring the stuff in so I can meet up. And we'll just get started on this. Now this isn't a comic, but it's kind of a neat piece. It's a red Riter. It's a Whitman hardcover, and they numbered them a little different numbering series than their 4-color. And pretty nice condition overall. Usually don't get them with the dust jacket. So 1946 is the copyright on that, and the pages are all in there. Sometimes they do fall out, but the hardcovers are generally fairly sturdy. You can see just a little rough on the ends of the dust jacket, and that's pretty typical stuff. I guess I'm going to start in this stack. If you're looking for a super huge wow piece, probably won't have it, but just a lot of fun stuff. So that's a Post Serials premium, they called it, and not worth a whole lot. I think I've seen them go 10-15 bucks. It is complete. You're supposed to cut it out and make like a circus ring, and I think there's 3 or 4 maybe others in that series. You could get the batch of them. Western comics, we've talked about this before. Western and crime, really tough to move, unfortunately. These are pretty sharp books overall. Silverfish damage along the spine, and that's going to be kind of a running theme here through this whole video. 4-color 153, just very clean, very presentable book. Unfortunately, just not too many collectors. Roy Rogers 1, so the number 1 here actually came after the 4-color 153. There's probably, what, 6? I don't know. Chad, you would know, so you can let me know in the comments if you want, but I think there's 5 or 6 4-color Roys before number 1. So the number 1 Roy Rogers is not the first appearance. I've got a couple now. Very clean book. It's got that chip out of that corner, unfortunately, but it's one of the nicer copies I've seen for a while. And just some, I guess you call run-of-the-mill stuff. Number 4 on that one. These are all pretty low numbered, I think. Number 5, and let's see, Roy number 6. He's got a kind of a big tear split up there at the top of the spine. Here's number 7. So, you know, all fairly low numbers. What's this one? There's number 8. On that, just very, very clean, very presentable. Number 12. I just wish they were superhero books or sci-fi horror. That's 14. This is 17 on that one. And then we're going to go get into some, I don't even know what category these are. Generic is kind of what I always called them. Foremost does have a football cover, really rough though. You can see there's some penciling and soiling on it. Sports covers sell, but you know, in that grade, again, boy, not a lot. You know, that would be lucky to be a $10 book. That's about it. You'd think something from the 40s would, you know, automatically be worth a fortune, but not too much. The one thing they do have going for them, you know, there's a lot of L.B. Cole covers, who's a fairly popular artist. I would say he's, you know, be in the low A level, high B level, depending on, you know, your taste in art, I guess. So he's not the most popular, but it does sell some books for me. And when you get a book like that, that's kind of your only hope. L.B. Cole football, again, that's Blue Bolt. Not a lot going on in the comics, you know, as far as stories or interest. Here's one. Boy, you talk about remnant. So Joe Palooka, and these are not rare, and here's why. So over 1 million copies each issue, and that is correct. They were printing over 1 million comics every month of just the Joe Palooka series. That's how popular he was. nobody knows who it is now. Yeah, it's a nice clean book. It's a boxing cover, so it's a sports cover. Might have a little interest there. Here's another early 4-color comic, Smilin' Jack. Nobody's ever heard of him these days. I don't even think he was super popular back then. So that's a bit of a dud. Marcus Zorro, 228. Not what I would call great cover art, but it is the first one. So this is the first appearance, Marcus Zorro. And it's not one I see a lot. I've owned several hundreds and hundreds of 4-color books, and this is not one. I don't know if I've had that one before or not. If I have, it's a long, long time ago. Blue Bolt, little better cover on this with the Bucket Brigade and the fire going, but you know, as you can see, that one's got a lot of silverfish damage on it. Yeah, it just says spine damage. So these came bagged and boarded, which is really nice. I usually don't get those. So I thought, well, I'd just go through and I had to check if they were complete and all that. So I kind of just graded them quick, did some page counts and things. So this is interesting. So this is a more fun comic. I have to do another page count on it. Let's see. It's missing pages. I think it's missing the outer 2 wraps, which would be, let's see, 8 pages total. But this is, you can see my notes there, the first ever appearance of Superboy. And it's a key book, and if you look in the Overstreet guide, the good price, of course that's complete, right, is right at $1,000. So what is something like this worth? I have no idea. It's really, really hard to value, but it is a key book. You know, people will pay up for them a little bit, you know, because the other ones are so expensive. So I don't know yet. I don't have a price on it. I want to make sure that, you know, I know how many pages are actually missing, but that is a key book. It's just in that grade, oi, you know, you are limited. Cool Gene Autry cover on this one. It's not a, there it is, fine, number 5. Don't see a lot of the early issues on Gene. He seems to be a little harder to get than the Roys. Here's a lower grade one. Got that dreaded sun shadow and some tanning. That always leads to brittleness. That's, let's see, number 9. Has a loose centerfold in that one. This is interesting. So here is Tarzan number 1. And so that's the first appearance of Tarzan in Dell Comics. And Tarzan had been around, I think it was 1912, actually, when he showed up in the pulp. So he'd been around a little while at this point. Very popular character. I have had these in the past, but not recently. And it's got some, again, silverfish damage. It's not chipping. It's just the bugs, silverfish or some bugs ate that away. And here's Tarzan number 2. Again, very presentable books, but same with the silverfish damage on there. And along the spine, you can see it's on there. So it's good that these survived, but that does hurt it quite a bit when you get that kind of damaged. Calling All Boys, it's kind of another, I guess, esoteric title, if you will. There are some good covers. There's some atomic bomb covers in there, so there's a couple of stories, you know, that do make a few of them more valuable. That isn't one of them. So Zelda fans, just in case you wondered, there's the Music is Fun, the Ocarina book. So it's a book with music, like sheet music in it, for playing tunes on your ocarina. And you know, if you're a Zelda fan, this probably might be a little bit surprising in that the ocarina has been around for a very, very, very long time. Okay, it was not an invention of Nintendo or anything like that, but just kind of a fun book. Obviously World War II themed. Again, not worth a ton. This one I'm keeping from my collection. It's actually not worth a lot. It's Speed 39. It is one of the lower grade books. Got a sub crease down the center. I love the skull and the horror kind of cover on it. Honestly, it's not worth a ton. Nobody, other than there's a few covers, but nobody really collects that particular title. Action Comics, 128, front cover only. Well, I mean, it only has the front cover. So, is that right? Oh no, this one's split. So this one has the cover that's split down the spine on it. That got shaved off. It is complete. Good football cover, kind of seeing a theme here. Whoever bought these must have been something of a football fan. Again, it's a neat old Golden Age Superman, one of the better covers. A lot of those covers weren't very good, but again, not worth a ton of money. Boy Commandos 4, really super neat. Jack Kirby, Simon and Kirby World War II invasion cover, D-Day cover. So that is really, really neat. This actually took place before D-Day because that was fall 1943. But that kind of along those lines, usually popular, -6 pages. So the inner, some of the pages on the inside are missing. It wasn't the outer wraps on this one, it was the interior. Not terribly uncommon, but it is a darn shame when you get a nice book like that that's incomplete. Still has good eye appeal though on that. I have to look this one up, which Green Hornet this is. I forgot to do that. So it's just from the Green Hornet comics. It is coverless but complete, so it's a great read on there. Again, it's nothing that's going to be super valuable. Here's a book. I haven't decided. I might hang on to this. I might not. I'll read it first. So this is Green Lantern number 6. It is coverless. It is complete. The first couple pages are popped off the bottom staple, and I can't remember if the centerfold is. I think the centerfold was all right on that one. These are just some wild kind of, I don't want to say horror stories, but they had a lot of mystical, magical stuff to them, on this early Green Lantern pieces, and they're kind of cool. And I haven't had one in for a while, so I might just stash that away for a little bit. Again, it's not super valuable. I think good is 300. That's complete with the cover. So this isn't going to be worth a ton of money at all. And here's some DC just called Western Comics. And again, you can see the silverfish damage. Is it on the spine? Yeah, there it is, up at the top, silverfish damage. They did have some pretty neat shootout, high noon kind of covers, so I do like those. Do not sell well. Wonder Man, it's kind of like the Speed comics. It is not a sought after superhero stuff. Cover's missing, got some torn up pages on the spine. I think basically the spine is split through the whole book on the top half there above the center line. So rough shape. Terry Toons, honestly, I do have a lot of Mighty Mouse fans, but I don't know being coverless if that's going to help me much. I know a lot of people are asking, well, why'd you buy these if they're so beat up? And I got to tell you, you just don't get Golden Age comics in. And these were not super expensive. I didn't pay a huge amount of money for them. And here's this is really a shame. See, that's all silverfish. I thought at first that was cut. But then I looked at it, and there's a crease there, and the silverfish ate into it, and then I think it split right along that crease, and then that edge is all silverfish. But it's got the skeleton hands choking Bullet Girl there, and I mean I don't know. It had been a pretty neat cover, not super valuable, complete, but still, that's a shame on that one. Dick Tracy, a really, really hard book to sell. I have some high grade, really early ones, 4 colors, even older than this, that are probably in that VF range. Nobody wants them. They look nice, but just nobody reads Dick Tracy. This one's got a lot of problems on it, but again, you don't turn it down. Here's one of actually the better books in the whole pile. Archie 24, the early Archies. This is Al Fogley, is that right? Did I get that? Something like that. Fogley cover. And this art style is pretty popular. cover is rough, especially along the spine. It is complete. Just fun covers, fun books. So as far as saleability goes, that's probably actually going to be one of the best ones. Boy Comics had a lot of Charlie Bureau covers, probably everyone. I don't know, it'd have to be close. He did, he worked for Lev Gleason, did a lot of crime shootout covers. Again, not very sought after. And this Daredevil, kind of the same deal on there, just not a highly sought after comic. This is one of the nicer ones though, very, very clean. Doesn't have the silverfish damage on it. This copy has just a little silverfish damage down there. Again, pretty clean. This one's going to have a little value just because of the subject matter there. People do collect that type of thing, right or wrong, but that does sell them. Here's another really clean book. And I'm guessing Brad, the guy that brought him in, we were kind of chuckling a little bit, is like, these nice ones were probably given to the kid and he didn't read them. That's why they're still so nice, because he wasn't interested. And that could very well be, because these are a lot of off titles, I would call them. Tom makes a pretty nice book, actually. A little bit of tanning, got a crease up there. I don't know. Again, the Western stuff is a little tough to move. Walt Disney Comics and Stories, this is number 77. I didn't look, it's probably got some Carl Barks art in it, at least a story or two, but some of them skipped them, so I didn't make note of that. They do tend to sell, actually, at least the duck books sell, the mouse books not so much. So that's actually probably a saleable book. It's not going to be super expensive at all. Lone Ranger, and that's a 4-color 151, so again, prior to the number 1 issue, just like with Roy Rogers. Fairly clean, got a bent corner, no big deal, and the sun shadow. Here's 167, looks like this one might have been in the sunlight. It's okay color, but it's kind of faded. It's got a little bit of a washed out look, so I don't know what happened there. And is this the one? Yeah, so this is the number 1, which is newer than the first 2 I showed you. Really clean one though. I've had a couple of these in the past, but I don't think I've had one quite like this. Just some light soiling on it. And this, of all the Westerns, honestly, I probably have the best luck with Lone Ranger. Red Riter would probably be next as far as still being able to be, I guess collectible or in demand. That's number 40. And the earlier you can get, which is a bit of a duh statement, but Red Riter, it really seems to make a difference. That's number 44. You really got to get down, I would say, below issue number 30. And then they're really hard to find, and there's pretty good market for it. But you get up around here, that's 51. Even though you have these beautiful covers on them, most of the collectors must have them because they move very slowly or not at all. That's 54. It's got a loose centerfold, popped off the bottom staple. Here's 55, and again, now we're getting back into the silverfish damage and on the edge and stuff there. Here's a really, really sharp book. Let's see, 65. 65 on that one. I don't know, it's pretty clean, but that high a number, it's going to take a while to find interest. Here's one I've never had. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Jing Pals number 1. If you watch the previous video, I don't think it's quite on the same level as Snarky Parker or anything like that. But it looks like it's got Andy Panda on there, and I'm not sure who the other guys are. Kind of interesting. It's an older book, maybe good. I don't think you're going to get much more out of that, but kind of an interesting one I've never seen before. Cookie, this is ACG book, and they don't show up all that much, and not a bad book. Actually, it's fairly collectible, a little bit lower grade, but the artwork's pretty good in there, and there is a market for cookies. There's not as much a market for these targets. Kind of an adventure, kids adventure book. I don't know how you want to term it. the covers sell them, so whatever the subject matter is, I don't think I got a lot of comic guys after them, but maybe a circus collector for that one. It's just kind of a little all over the board. They're very, very slow movers. This one's got I don't know what happened to it. Right there, you can see it's kind of messed up, broken spine or something. Here we go, another sports cover. So runners, marathoners, stuff like that. That's kind of who would be interested in that. Some of these covers, I don't know. I don't know what to do with them. They're very slow. Skiing cover, ski jump cover. So again, sports. I should be able to find a market for it. Just not a lot going on. No real famous characters in any of them. Here's a neat book. I've had one a long, long time ago. I didn't think I did, but I had it in my records. It's a number 2. Blackstone, who was a very famous, you can see right there, the only living comic book character, is actually a famous illusionist. I don't see a lot of these. Again, the silverfish just went to town on the darn thing. Probably not worth a ton either, just because of condition. Nyoka, not one of the best-selling jungle titles. I do see a lot of them. It's number 5. Again, it's got that silverfish damage, but because of the subject matter on the cover, I think that probably still will sell fairly quickly. Judy books are pretty good. This one isn't super high grade. It's got a sun shadow on there, and did it? Okay, no, I didn't have a centerfold problem on this one, but that's probably actually a decent book. Date with Judy. It's from the radio program, but the comics are still pretty popular. Our Gang, again, I think that's Miss Crabapple, right? That was the teacher's name, and I'm guessing that's Alfalfa. I don't know. Number 27 on that. Solid book. Tom and Jerry actually sell a little better. The Our Gang stuff hasn't been super hot for a while. Young King Cole, another adventure kind of story thing, if you want to think as a kind of a Tomb Raider-esque kind of guy, or Indiana Jones, went around just having adventures all over the world kind of deal on that. There is some art in here. I think L.B. Cole, he didn't do this cover. I think he did work on some of the covers, or somebody did, but I don't see a lot of them, and nobody's asking for it. And last, and not quite least, let's see. No back cover on this one. It is Star Spangled number 60. It is a Simon and Kirby cover art. So we got the Newsboy Legion with the Guardian on there, and it looks like it's well, it's probably not quite World War II, but just shortly after that, cover-based with the submarine, and they're always catching spies and crooks and things like that. So I just thought I'd share this with you. Next up, we're going to start doing the movie poster videos again. It's been like 7 months, and I need to get back to that. So we should have a series of the movie poster videos coming back up. Check those out, and thanks for watching.